viewers, Danny Flexen here for SecondsOut. Delighted to be joined by Macaulay McGowan, just days away from travelling to Paris, your latest big away day.
Yeah.
Why don't you ever get a home fight? I mean, you've had home fights, but why don't you ever get a big fight at home?
I do get home fights and no one comes.
that probably explains it then, yeah.
Yeah. No, I have a loyal band of people that come, but no, I don't know. I like the away trips.
I mean, it's Paris, so there's obviously an attraction there. I had quite a look at Farhad Saad, the native Frenchman you'll be facing on Saturday night. It's a winnable fight for you. I think, you know, if it wasn't in the location it is, I'd make you the favourite.
Yeah, I know exactly. I think people are like, oh, he's took another away job here, you know, so you're gonna get beat. But we've looked at the fight and was like, this is a winnable one that we've been offered here. Like, I've really got a good chance, and especially when we got down to work, started getting down to tactics, what we're gonna do, and steps up the training. Coming into this week, man, I'm ready. Like this one, I've got a good feeling about this one. So,
I mean, I could say what I think of him from watching video and stuff, but what have you made of him when you and Joe have kind of sat down and analysed Farhad Saad?
I think he's elusive. He's a bit cocky, to be honest. Like he seems very cocky, a bit sure of himself. It looks like a bit of a moaner, to be honest. Like gives that demeanour is a bit of a moaner, but look, I can't get wrapped into his game, and he's gonna want me to get angry and come running at him, and he can let off flashy combinations and all this and whatnot. But I've just got to stick to what I want to do and my plan, and I believe that I can win it pretty convincingly, to be honest.
So do I. How many rounds is it set for, and what weight is it at?
It's 8, and it's at 110, just over 11:10. Sorry, just over middleweight it is. So yeah, he probably is naturally at a bigger weight class, but listen, I fight and spar men bigger than me all the time, and it's mad, you know, like people look at like weight and they look at the size, someone's size, and they go, "Oh my god, why is he doing that again?" or whatever. But you know, if you were having a fight somewhere on the street, someone slapped you, misses his ass or something, you wouldn't go, "Oh, bloody hell, what weight are you? Yeah, how big are you? We can't have a fight about this." You know, but then when you get given 6 weeks notice or 3-4 weeks notice, you're fighting with a referee there. All of a sudden, it's now a problem that someone might be naturally a bit bigger than you. It's like, no, we've looked at the fight, we've looked at what he does wrong, we've looked at his good attributes, bad attributes. Listen, we're there to do a job, and me and Joe are pretty confident.
I mean, it's fair to say he's not a puncher. He's 8 wins, but no knockouts in that. I think he's come close to losing a few times as well. A couple of majorities, a draw as well early in his career. But just watching the tape of him, he's fast hands, long, rangy, but doesn't appear to do anything particularly well. You know, he's solid in all areas.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and I think his ego gets the better of him sometimes, and he starts making a lot of mistakes. Like it's only 9 fights in. I think he's won 8, drawn 1. He's had a lot of inactivity, and like, I mean, I've been there myself, and I know how hard it is to fight after 2 years out. So, and I only did a 4 rounder, so doing an 8 round after 2 years out, and I'm not gonna be putting a sitting dog for him just to tee off flashy combinations to do what he wants with. So, I'm just dead confident about it. And listen, even if he didn't have the inactivity, didn't have this, it's none of my concern anyway. I just look at him as a fighter and think, this one's felt right for me. This one's felt right. Because I've took fights in the past that circumstances probably hasn't favoured me, but I think they're favouring me this time.
How long have you been working with Joe now?
It'll be coming up to 2 years in the summer, so about 18, 19 months or something.
And what do you feel he's done for your career? How has he changed you, developed you?
Just over time, just like made little tweaks, just with my mindset, you know. I was using an analogy the other day about like boxers. We're like sheep. We're just like worried sheep, just like all over the place. Just one wandering. We're just like we'll get told to do something and we'll just kind of wander off and do our own thing and not even know that we're doing it. And Joe's just like, no, Macaulay, this is what we're doing and this is how we're gonna do. And he's kept me honest. Like I always think that I'm a good judge of my own self, but it turns out I'm deluded myself quite a few times, just about anything about how committed I'm being, boxing ability, how fit I am, and you can when you're analysing yourself, you can delude yourself. So Joe keeps me honest. Like, no, we need to step it up now. No, you're doing that wrong. He's changed me in a lot of ways. Discipline, I'd say, more than anything.
Joe's not the sort of trainer that will kind of take a fighter on the road for an away day and say, well, we'll give it our best, but, the referee and the judges big. Joe wants to win every fight. He's ultra competitive. Does that kind of feed through a little bit as well?
Of course it does, 100%, yeah. Like, because if I was with someone else, like, when you're training and it's hard and stuff, and, maybe the pressure, you might be feeling the pressure a bit, like, I need to win. Sometimes you can just tell yourself, no, it don't really matter, does it? I'm the away fighter, and and this, that, and the other. You can start making excuses for yourself, whereas with Joe, there's just no excuse, and like that's rubbed off on me. We are going to win, and win at all costs, and forget the judges, forget the ref. We're there to get the win, and we're going to approach the fight like we're there to win. We're not there to mess around and turn up half-hearted and joke around and stuff. We're there to do a proper job. So it's definitely rubbed off. And the last 3 fights we've had together, where I know I've only beat low-level opposition, not to be disrespectful, but fighters that I should be winning, just got me in that mindset. You're a fighter with ambition. You're not just taking fights here, there, and everywhere and being pushed around. You have got ambition. So yeah,
good stuff. And kind of similarly, training alongside the likes of Paul Butler, who fought in New A recently, Natasha Jonas, who won 3 belts in the space of a year. That must have its own kind of influence as well.
Oh yeah, 100%. Even Mark Efron winning the British. That was. I'm not
bad for not mentioning him now.
No, I'm just saying, like, because Mark was a bit lost out on the British a few times, and then he's come and he's got a few wins, got a bit of momentum, and then he did the job when he had to do it and finally won that British. So so I see like motivation from that. Just Paul and Natasha, training alongside Natasha is just eye opening, because she just comes in the gym like she's not even just won 3 belts or she's that high up. She just comes in and trains, and I think, wow, if she's doing that and she's that high up, I'm this low down. So I need to, if I want to get anywhere close to that or British title, I've got to stay on it. So yeah, it is dead motivating.
Who have you been able to spar with for this one in particular? Because as we say, he's tall and rangy, elusive. No disrespect to Mark Efron, he probably wouldn't be the best spar for this one.
No, we've had sparring partners. There are a lot of fast amateurs and stuff like that, coming in. So I'm not just walking onto dash shots or being slow, because he's fast, and we've been doing a lot of technique work and what we need to work on. Like you say, there's been no harm sparring Mark Efron. Like maybe not in the last couple of weeks, but the last 6 weeks or so, power wise, strength wise, size wise. So I'm in a really good place. Like I've covered all bases going into this.
Well, I think you have the whole country behind you for this one, so no pressure, but fingers crossed. The other thing I did want to speak to you about, and it's because I've been watching your tweets. Always look at your tweets, because you're a very good follow on Twitter for people out there who are wondering.
Thank you.
The Conor Benn situation particularly seems to have captured your attention recently, as it has a lot of us. Did you watch the interview last night with Piers Morgan?
No, I didn't watch the interview. No, I've just seen the little clips and stuff and little like write-ups about it on Twitter.
What do you make of the whole situation? You seem to be a skeptic, I think is the kindest way of putting it, for his explanation.
I think he's just a proper little cunt. Excuse my language. I do. I just think I honestly think it, like, he tried to. What is it like with fighters like, oh, it's the A, and now he's playing the victim, and I just think, no. I think I've seen a tweet before, or like where they've took it out of the interview. He said, I've got pundits who know me trying to label me a cheat. No one's trying to label you a cheat. The evidence and the tests are showing that you're a cheat. Like, what the hell? And then the way he's handled the situation, it's just been a car crash. And then the more we talk about it, the more of a car crash situation is, the more we talk about it, the more his stock rises. So it's just like, what the fuck? But I just think, wow, he's a proper little dickhead. I used to like the guy, but the way he's just handled this, but I feel like all his career he's always wanted to be the bit of the bad guy. Like, even when everyone was supporting him, he was going, "When will I get my credit? When will I get the credit?" Like, no one was slagging him for some of his performance, but he still thought everyone was. So I don't know if he's all had that mentality or whatever.
If you were in that situation, just kind of imagine, kind of perceive the fact that he's saying it's unknowingly if it has happened. Well, he's saying it was never in his body, but regardless of that,
Yeah.
if you popped for something, if an adverse finding came up a trace amount or whatever, and you couldn't think how it got there, you just couldn't work it out at all, how would you then handle the situation?
I'd be a bit more transparent, I think.
Mm.
I wouldn't if I knew generally that I had not took anything, I'd be as transparent as I could possibly be. These 270 pages of whatever, they'd be. I don't know. To be fair, I don't know the legal side of things. To be fair, but I'd be on Twitter being a bit more nicer. To be honest, I'd be a bit more nicer and trying to like put out like tweets. Honestly, guys, I'd just be a bit more transparent with everything that was happening, and like as is like you can't maybe release legal documents where you be like a document's getting sent, and I just try and keep everyone up to date and just try and I don't know. I've never been in that situation. I can't say, but I think if you looked at me and my last performances and stuff, you'd go, yeah, well, he's definitely not juice. Whereas you look at his last performances and stuff, you think, well, maybe it does make a bit more sense now.
Well, I don't know. You've won 3 in a row, so it might get
yeah. Went off 3 losses to 3 in a row. Everyone like, oh, he's juicy. He's on
it's the Joe Gallagher effect. It's not drugs. It's not drugs.
Yeah. He must be on them drugs that James Toney was taking because he don't look any aesthetically pleasing.
We love James Toney though. Before the drugs. Before the drugs. All right, mate. Well, I really, really appreciate your time. And like I say, love you to pull it off on Saturday night. And I'm sure everyone watching will feel the same way, except if there's a few kind of French fans of Seconds Out that I haven't accounted for.
Or Conor Benn after that.
Oh, yeah, or that. But yeah, really best of luck, mate. And yeah, let's catch up again, hopefully, after you've got another full victory in a row under your belt.
Yep. Yeah, definitely. 100%. Yeah, look forward to it.